Hey there, how's it going everybody? So in this video, we're going to be learning how to specify ranges for analysis within our data. So I'm just going to give you an example before we get started. So in this case, let's just say we wanted to know how many deaths occurred within 50 meters range from each and every pump. So in order to do that, we need to use the buffer analysis tool. So this tool creates buffer polygons around input features to a specified distance. So I'm just going to be showing you how this buffer tool works. So I'm just going to go on buffer here and click on the tool, and then it's going to give us then it's going to open the geoprocessing tab, which requires us to specify some input parameters. Okay, so for now what I need to do is I need to specify a range over our pumps. So that means our range is going to be 50 meters. So that also means our input features around this dataset is going to be the pumps. So I selected pumps there, and then now I need to name our output feature class. So before I give this name, I just need to mention that there are quite a lot of dissolving types for buffers. So as you can see here, we have 3 types of dissolving buffers, and we're going to be going each and every one of them within this video. So first of all, I'm just gonna analyze this data using the no dissolve first. So I'm just gonna name this data to buffer no dissolve. Okay, then I'm just gonna specify the distance to 50 meters here, and then I'm just gonna leave it as a planner since we're not dealing with data we use quite over a large distance. And then I'm just going to leave the no dissolve since it's the first one that you're going to be doing. So I'm just going to run that algorithm. Okay, so now what I'm expecting with this no dissolve, it creates a polygon feature layer which has attributes. So each and every polygon which is going to be created around each and every pump is going to be independent of the other. So let's just see what I mean when I say independent of the other. Okay, so as you can see here, our algorithm finished running. So it created these buffers. Unfortunately, our distance that is specified was quite small, hence these radius circles and radius polygons are also a bit small. So as you can see within this buffer, there are actually some deaths which occurred around this buffer. So in our future video, we're going to be learning how to get the dataset within these specified ranges. So for now, I'm just going to show you how our attribute table is going to look like if we use the no dissolve. Okay, so as you can see here, this is our attribute table right here. So what it did is it specified for each and every polygon which was created is independent of the other. So I'm just gonna try to select one of these. So yeah, as you can see, I have selected a polygon with object ID number 1, which has been highlighted within my map here. So this polygon, if I decide to delete this, this polygon dataset will be gone. So it creates individual data points. Okay, so with that being said, I'm just going to head over to our second type of dissolving buffers. So I'm just gonna, since our geoprocessing tab is already open and our pumps dataset is already selected, what I need to do now is I just need to rename this one to a single layer. Okay, and then I'm just gonna leave it as 50 meters and just gonna change the type now to input into single feature. So I'm just gonna run this algorithm, and while it's running, I'm just gonna turn off these buffers which are already created by the previous algorithm. So let's just leave that to run for a while, and I think it's almost done. Yeah, okay, so now as you can see, it's still the same distance that has been created, but now what we want to see is how our feature, our attribute table will be like. Okay, so as you can already see from the previous algorithm, it created 8 different types of polygons. Okay, so in this one it's only defined one polygon. So if I'm to highlight these polygons, you see that each and every polygon has been highlighted. So if I delete this polygon, then we're not going to be left with any polygon within our data set. So one advantage about using this one is that our points, our data is not easily lost, because when we lose one feature, we lose everything. So it's quite okay. Personally, I like using this one much more, and it actually leaves our data set clean. So I'm just gonna give you an example of what I mean when I say it leaves our data set clean. So if I was to specify a distance of 100 meters here, I'm just going to show you what the output is going to look like. If I'm just going to specify 100 meters, I'm just going to rename this to 100 meters. Okay, so what it does, it combines this into one feature layer, which is also continuous. It doesn't break like what the previous algorithm did for us right there. So I'm just going to show you. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just going to turn off the first algorithm result. And okay, so as you can see right here, here there was supposed to be two circles here, but the algorithm realized that since this is one feature data set, there's no need to break these polygons into two. So it just combined them, and it actually produces a smarter layout of visualizing this type of analysis. Okay, so now I'm just gonna head over to the last dissolving type. So I'm just gonna change this. Okay, so this one requires us to select field attributes which have the same properties. So I'm just going to select the ID, but I don't think this algorithm is going to do much, because with our data set which you've been analyzing, it's just going to give us the same results from the previous analysis. So let's just see how this is going to look like. So I'm just going to say a single list feature match there. I'm just going to specify pump, and I'm just going to turn off this data set, and then I'm just going to run this algorithm. So just leave it to run for quite a few seconds. I'm sure it's almost done. Okay, yeah, now it's almost done, and it's done. Okay, so let's just go over to our attribute table and see how this actually looks like. So as you can see, it also created one polygon like what we did here in this single layer analysis. So I'm just going to open the attribute table again so that we compare how these are going to be looking like. Okay, so since you saw that here we specified a dissolve field to be the ID, it didn't find any IDs within our data set. That's why this ID has become 0. So it's just going to repeat what the single layer function did. But if we had a different data set which had lots of fields, it was going to, like, the result was actually going to be different. Okay, so I hope you guys learned something from this video in terms of using buffers. So we're going to be using these created buffers in our next video to actually extract the number of deaths which were specified by a certain buffer. So please like, share and subscribe to this channel, and so that we continue making future videos, so that you guys keep learning how to use ArcGIS Pro.